what it was. Y'all know who it is. And y'all tuned in with, and it's story time. And say, I want to thank everybody that tuned in last week. We had such an overwhelming response that we right back at it again this week. And this little collection I got for you this week, they just as funny, they just as crazy, and they just as true as the shit I hit you with last week. And that's because whether y'all done paid attention or figured it out by now or not, I'm a knucklehead. Oh, I'm a knucklehead. And I done been through some shit. Really, I done put myself through some shit. And really, there's a lot of situations in life where I wasn't shit. I mean, I wasn't even half a turd. And the beautiful part of all that is I done lived to tell you about it. I can look back on that character in these stories I'm telling you. And even though we got the same name and we come from the same place, I'm not him. I'm a much more highly evolved individual. So I can look at it and laugh. And I can tell y'all about it, and maybe y'all can learn something from my experiences. Or you can sit back and just shake your head and say, oof, I'm so glad that I'm looking at the man I'm looking at here today. And I'm not the one that had to deal with that individual back then. Because he was treacherous. He was treacherous. And so also understand that the stories that we had last week, those were based on some psychedelic experiences I had. And that's cool. But see, this week, we got Venus in Leo. We got the moon in Scorpio. So we're going to take a different look at things. We're going to take a look at some relationship experiences I had. One in particular, a toxic one. I'm talking about, we're going to get to some catastrophic levels of toxicity. Okay. And the scary part is this one right here ain't even the most toxic one I've been involved in. Not even close. It's just my first introduction to the toxic lifestyle. And it's the first time that I seen just how toxic I was inside. Okay. And then, hey, that's also when I realized that there's levels to this shit, because the person I was involved with, the person I was dealing with, you know, she was on a much higher level than me. And what I thought I was dishing out, I ended up eating mucho. So how I settled on this story right here, I'm going to tell you now. I was looking at my comments, as I always do, and I was answering questions about that people were asking me when I was interacting with people on my videos. And the first question I see a lot of times is, which sign do you think cheats the most? And let me tell you straight up, you really can't base that just off somebody's sun sign. But if I did have to divulge, in my experience, I'd have to say it's them doggone Leos. Oh man, it's them Leos, man. And I don't like to make generalizations, but I got Venus in Leo. I know what it feels like. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of things that have to be taken into consideration. But in this situation, you got me. Okay. A Cancer. Okay. Dealing with a female individual who's a Leo. And at the beginning of this situation, understand that I'm only 17 years old. And she is 24. Okay. Now, in her defense, she really didn't know how old I was. And when she did find out, I kind of lied to her. And so that don't matter. Okay. So, and my parents, my mama was passed on already, and my daddy was a dope fiend, and he himself was sexually inappropriate in a whole bunch of situations. So it wasn't much he was going to say. So let's just keep it like that on that. And so, here we go. And let me also tell y'all, let me also tell y'all that you're going to see me get mine in this story. I'm going to get mine. But that's all right, because I'm the type that learns and evolves. And I'm so happy that this went on way back in the day. Okay. Cause the events in this story, they happened way back in 2004. Maybe even 2003. It started in 2003, as a matter of fact. And then, it ended up in 2005. But we're going to culminate a whole bunch of different things going on around here. And, we're going to talk about it. And let me also say that both myself and the individual in this story that I'm going to be talking about, pretty much all of them, except for a few, we're all different people now. Okay. We live whole different lifestyles, and the lifestyles that we lived back then, they're not even familiar to us anymore. Okay. And I'll touch more on that at the end of the video, but that's just something to think about right there. Okay. Because hey man, I couldn't even fathom living like that anymore, but it's cool. Okay. And another thing, some of the names have been changed in this story to protect the innocent. Okay. So that is what it is. All right. So in this story, you have me. Okay. And the female individual I'm dealing with, her name's Angela. Okay. She's a Leo. She's a Hispanic chick. She's much older than me. You know what I'm saying? She is a gangster, a hustler. You know what I'm saying? At that point in time, she was the plug. You know what I'm saying? She worked 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Did hair, babysit, all that. All that, man. And so that's what she got in. That's what she's known as in the hood at that situation. Okay. But I met her through my 2 best friends that we talked about in the last story, Trudell and Jonathan. Okay. And you also hear me refer to Jonathan as Fame because, that's what we call him too. Okay. Especially when me and him are doing our music thing. Okay. And Angela was their weed plug. Okay. And then Angela's roommate is a chick named Niecy, a black chick. And Niecy's relevant because she's Angela's best friend and roommate, but also because Niecy's dude at that time, he's not anymore, was a guy named Fed, and he was a music producer. And, he's incarcerated at this time, free him or whatever, that's his business. But anyway, Fed was her dude. Fed was a music producer, and Fed was also Jonathan or Fame's producer. He had discovered him, and Jonathan was signed to his label. Now, I didn't rap yet, okay? But Jonathan, he had recognized my talent. I'm his best friend. I was just as good or better than him, and he wanted me to get put on with him. He thought me and him could do our thing, okay? We're 17. So he's taking me over there when we go to buy weed because he also wants me to freestyle and rap for Niecy because he wants her to have it locked in that when Fed comes home, I'm on the label. Fame wants to rock with me. He had been in a group with his brother and his stepbrothers before. And, he's growing up. He's 17. He wants to do his own thing. He rocks with me every day. His brothers are there, but he rocks with me every day. Okay. And I love his brothers too. They're like my brothers. We all call each other brothers, but it's different. And now Trudell, he's just Trudell. Trudell at this time is a football star. Okay. A 5-star football recruit to Texas Tech University at defensive tackle. Like I said in the last story, he's 260 pounds, solid muscle, 6'2". Ladies love him, but he don't give a damn about none of that. He don't give a damn about none of that. Okay. He wants to be by himself. He wants to play his PlayStation or, do all kinds of tech stuff and work at his job. And that's it. He doesn't have a lot of, energy for a lot of emotions. That's just kind of how it is. Okay. Even though he's a Cancer, he's very sensitive, but he has an Aquarius moon. So he's not outwardly emotional. Now, Jonathan, Fame, and all of this isn't relevant in this story because they don't have big parts in the story. Fame, like I said, he's an Aries sun and a Pisces moon though. Okay. So he's up and down. Ain't no telling where he going. And that's how it is. And me, I'm a Cancer sun, Pisces moon. Okay. And I'm kind of the same way. Okay. I'm just a little more emotional and laid back. I come across as very laid back, but underneath that, I'm a trip. That's straight up. Anyway, and Niecy's a Virgo. Angela's a Leo. Fed's a Libra. Okay. Niecy's part doesn't necessarily matter, but Fed being a Libra and Angela being a Leo, that's relevant in this story. I promise you. Okay. I promise you. And so here we go. We go over there and they let me rap. And the thing is, that's all cool. And another thing is, I'm not necessarily attracted to Angela. Okay. Angela's a thicker Mexican chick. Like I said, she's older, and I would have never really paid attention to her before, but she really, really, really likes Trudell, and she is paying so much attention to him every time we go over there. And the problem with that is I got Venus in Leo, and I'm not really with him getting all that attention. Okay. It's cool if we was both getting that attention, but I'm not cool with him getting all that attention. Now, I'm not going to outwardly express that, because outwardly I'm not no hater. And it's not that I give a damn about him getting the attention, really. You know, the more that you assess it, the fact is I wasn't getting the attention. Like I said, if we was both getting a lot of attention, you know, if we both went over there and Niecy and Angela or something was on both of us, I'd be like, oh, I'd be all right. But me on this light skin bullshit, here I go. Okay. So every time we go over there, she had his neck too. And she's the weed plug. And I'm the biggest weed feed around there. And I also have a hustler's mentality. I'm the only one that hustle. So I'm thinking like, man, I need to be locked in with her, because she be hustling. She is plugged in with a whole bunch of people. Like, she the one I need to be fooling with. Okay. But, and that's just because she really want to fool with him, because I wouldn't want to fool with her if she didn't want to fool with Trudell. I mean, that's just kind of how it was. Trudell's like my big brother, understand? And the thing is, she probably just wanted to fool with Trudell because she's 24. Trudell's 20 at that time. We're little 17-year-olds, you know? So she kind of looks at us as like the little homies at first, okay? And she sees him as somebody that, you know, she could potentially, you know, fool around with. And, you know, we was built like little kids a little bit. And he was, you know, built like a grown man. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. But I'm not going to assess it, because I had a plan in the mix. So what my little trash ass would do is, every time we left, you know, after she be at Trudell's neck, or every time she left the room, I kind of make fun of Trudell, be like, ooh, Trudell, you finna go with that fat ass girl, Trudell. Trudell, you finna get that big one, huh? You know what I'm saying? I be on him about her weight, which they know I mess with things, and I love all sizes and shapes of women. Okay. So that ain't something to trip about at all. And at the same time, I know Trudell, and I know me getting in his head will get in his head, because he doesn't care about a lot of people's opinion, but he cares about my opinion. And so I'm always messing with, and I press buttons. You know what I'm saying? I'm a, you know, what do they call them? A perennial button presser. Okay. That's what I am. I'm a perennial button presser with everybody. If I see that something bothers you, I'm gonna do it. I don't know why. Maybe it's cause, you know, I got Uranus and Sagittarius in the 3rd house. You know, maybe it's, you know, my Black Moon Lilith and Gemini in the 8th house, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But if I can press buttons, I'm going to press buttons. That's what I do. Maybe it's the big brother in me, because I have nothing but little sisters that were around me. You know, I have older brothers, but they weren't around me growing up. So it's just me and my little sisters. So all I'm doing is picking. So with Trudell, you know, I know what to bother him with, so I'm jugging at him all the time. Like, man, you better not mess with that fat ass girl. All the while, every time I get on my own, I'm sliding over there to buy weed by myself now. You know what I'm saying? And when I buy it, you know, I'm gonna buy a little sack and be like, hey, you want to smoke one? And understand, the player in me is not gonna speak down on my boy at all. But the Mars in Capricorn, the Pluto in the 1st, the Venus in Leo, the competitor in me ain't trying to lose. Even though there is no competition, because it's in here. So I slide her, you know what I'm saying? And I'm over there all the time. And so eventually, you know, as me being had her neck, Trudell doing his thing, and he trying to stay away from her, trying to dodge her as hard as he can. I slide over there one night and end up getting it in with her. You know what I'm saying? Ended up getting up in that thing. And so, all's cool with that. But the next morning, I'm sitting on her couch. Niecy just left for work. Angela's in the shower. I'm eating a bowl of cereal. As I'm eating a bowl of cereal, the front door opened up and one of the big homies walk in. Loco. See, I kind of knew that in the back of my mind, but I had forgot this whole time that with her trifling ass, Angela is at Trordell's neck. I just smashed her, but she got some nigga the whole time. She got some man the whole time. One of the big homies, Loco. Okay? And, you know, when I say big homie, I'm talking about affiliations. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? She, at that time, probably 6 or 7 years older than me. And he, probably 10 years older than her. So I'm like, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? This might well be my uncle or my, you know what I'm saying? My pop's age almost. You know what I'm saying? So I'm paying attention like, what the fuck? And it all kind of started clicking. So I watch him walk by. He walked right past me. He even say, what's up, cuz? To me, say, what's cracking, cuz? I say, what's cracking, big homie? He walked by me, go right into the bathroom where she at and shut the door. And I'm like, oh shit. So I start putting on my shoes, man. I'm like, oh shit, cuz. Shit finna go down. Because I cannot leave or run if anything's gonna go down. Like I just said, that's the big homie in the hood. There is no escaping. I live in the hood. Ain't no getting around me. Ain't no running. And if I run, it's gonna be way worse to me if I stay here and anything happen. Because if I run, then I'm a coward. And, you know, how we was raised, that just, you know, with the things that we was doing in life, that was unacceptable at that point in time. You feel me? So cowardice wasn't going to be showed. So I'm putting my shoes on like, damn, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. I'm trying to size him up now. Like, man, when he come out, he's going to try to do this. I need to grab something. You know what I'm saying? I need to try to explain, you know, that I didn't know. I need to, you know, swing one and back up and post up, but still tell him, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, I didn't know. I didn't really realize, you know what I'm saying? And so I hear them in there yelling, arguing. And then I hear slapping up, physicality. And I'm like, ah. And then the door come out. He slammed. Boom. He come out pulling it. You know what I'm saying? He come out pulling his pants up. He, you know what I'm saying? Like he was walking hard, not because anything was going down sexually, but kind of like he, you know, when you're fighting, he come out pulling his pants up. As soon as he come out pulling his pants up, I kind of back up, you know what I'm saying? And almost, you know, throw my shit up in my stance because I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. And he just look at me kind of for a second. And then shake his head and just walk out the door, slam the door and leave. Okay. And I also know, you know, in my maturity that it wouldn't have been player for him to try to jump on me in that situation. Okay. Even though that's probably what I would have done if it was the other way around. But hey, accountability is key. And so maybe I should have left right then. I mean, my life probably would have been way different if I did, but I didn't. What I do, I go in the bathroom. I tell her, say, man, what's going on with you, man? Like, I heard him putting his hands on you. Are you okay? And she like, yeah, I'm good. You know, he slapped me and he choked me, but I told him we're done and he's never coming back here. Okay. And I'm like, okay. And so I take her in the room, kissing on her. We end up getting it in again. And then that's when I hit her with the worst line any female really wants to hear. I said, can I use your car after this? And she said, huh? And I said, well, I know you have to go to work. I said, can I just drop you off at work? Can I use your car? You know, you baby now or whatever. We got a little thing going on. And she thought about it for a second. And then she said, yes. I'm going to tell you why she said yes. She said yes because, like I said, she's a Leo. And in her brain, she figured first thing I'm going to do is go through the hood, floss in her car, or go see Trordell and Jonathan In any case, if I go through the hood, go to my house, Loco and them gonna see me out there in the hood. If I go to pick Jonathan and up, if I go to my house, Jonathan and them gonna see me. Or if I go to my homies, they gonna see me. And then Trordell, when he sees me, he gonna know he fucked up. Oh, he could have been swinging the whip. That's in her brain. He'll know then that he could have been the one swinging the whip. And now look at his homeboy swinging it. Okay. And everything's a show. It's all the stage. Understand? This is that Leo drama. And so she, and so that's what in her brain. So, and she's also thinking now that if I go through the hood, Loco, he gonna see, what it really is. She done chose now. Okay. And she ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? She don't care if I get shot up. So that is what it is, man. And so she say, yeah. So I take her to work, drop her off at work. All's fine and dandy with that. I swing around all day. I hit my legs. I don't go to the hood. Okay. I swing around, and then about 2:00, I call to the school. I get my little sisters out from school early and go pick them up. Okay. Understand? I'm just 17 years old. I go pick my little sisters up from school. I'm riding around with them. It's about 2:45. I got to go get Angela by 3:30. So I have to be leaving where I'm going by 3:15. So I'm 30 minutes from, this all being over with. I'm about a block from my parents' house. Okay. Or my dad and my stepmom's house. And I'm about to pull up, and I run a stop sign, run headfirst into a navigator. Boom! Total both vehicles. Everybody's okay in both vehicles. My sisters are okay. The airbags deployed. I look at them, ask them, are they okay? They're like, yeah, we're okay. They get out of the car. As soon as we get out of the car, I jet around the corner, which that's another mistake. You can't do that. I jetted around the corner, and I jumped on the phone at my house. I called Angela. Angela, I wrecked the car, baby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was an accident. I don't know what lie I told on how the wreck happened, but I said, man, I'll help you get another car. We're going to be together anyway. You my girl now. You my girl, and we going to be together. It's me and you to the world. And I shouldn't have said that. See, fellas, let me tell you something if you're watching this. Females take the shit you say literally. They think as a man, you're supposed to say what you mean and mean what you say. And you should. So don't just say some bullshit. Okay. But I say that. And the plot thickens. I run back to go check on the situation. As soon as I get back, the law's already there. They snatch me up, put me in cuffs, put me in the back of the police car. They got me in the back of the car now. I'm back in the back of the car like, what the fuck? As soon as they got me in the back of the car, they're trying to get my information and shit. I'm mad. I don't want to answer no situation, because the thing is, I'm on probation at that time. I'm 17. I'm still on juvenile probation. I never got off juvenile probation. I got on juvenile probation when I was 14 years old for some shit I did at school, and I never got off until I was 18. And when I got off of that, I was already in jail for some adult shit. Okay. And on my way to going to prison later on down the line. So yeah, I was a problem child. And so I'm in the back of the car, and they got me because I have gotten in trouble for stealing cars several times before. I actually had stole my own probation officer's car before. And so all the laws know this. And that's a whole other story that we'll get to one day. We'll talk about my America's Dumbest Criminals moment one day, but this ain't today. But they got me in the back of the car. Angela and Niecy pull up. They pull up. They jump out. They're like, what's going on? The law tell them what's going on. I'm yelling out the car. Angela, tell them I didn't steal your car. Tell them I didn't steal your car. Tell them I drove your car. Tell them I drove your car. Okay. And I'm like, she's like, what am I supposed to tell them? I can't tell them we're together. Cause I'm 17. And I'm like, man, you better tell them something. And then I looked at her. As when she said that, I said, wait, I'm 17. And I think she kind of took that like I was threatening her. Like I was saying that, if she didn't do what I wanted her to do and get me out of this car, I was going to tell him something about me and her messing around. So she went and told him, no, I let him use my car. He's my friend. Everything was cool. He had all permission, all that. And that's all cool, sure. They let me out the car. Okay. Gave me a ticket, all that shit. I had to go to court or whatever, which I was never going to go to anyway. Not again. And so guess what, man? Now me and Angela together. That's how we ended up being in a relationship. And hey, man, the toxic levels that it reached, it was hell. See, I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't. I was a 17-year-old kid. My mama had died when I was 13. And like I said, my dad was on drugs. I knew how to survive, but the way that I survived was shady. It was grimy. You know what I'm saying? It was hustling. It was jacking. You know what I'm saying? It was playing with females' minds and getting what I could and getting taken care of by people. It was searching for my mama, you know what I'm saying, in females. And in this case, I found a whole bunch of trouble. So as time would go on, also understand that Angie at that time, when I got with her, she had a little 1-year-old baby. So as soon as I get involved with her, like I said, I got Venus in Leo. And hey, there's something in me. I love kids, man. And so I became immediately attached to the baby, took care of it while she was at work, did everything I could. You know what I'm saying? I did everything I could for that baby girl. She's grown now. You know what I'm saying? Has a baby of her own, which is crazy. But married and everything. Married to the mayor's son there in my hometown. So that's all right. So I guess that ain't a failure or anything yet. But she's too young to be married or have a baby. But it's not my opinion. I mean, it's not my business. I said not my opinion. My opinion doesn't matter and it's not my business. Pardon me. But anyway, that's beside the fact. But so I'm attached to the baby. All that goes in. Everything cool with that. We going together. And I was trifling. I'm telling you now, I was trifling. There's a whole bunch of situations that I got caught up in. It was a whole bunch of shit I was doing that she had no idea of that, you know, was out of line. And understand, Fed got out real soon after that. And I got signed to the label immediately. Okay. And so everything that we talked about doing with music started happening. Me and Jonathan, we was always in the studio. We was always at Fed and Niecy's house. So Angela was never tripping on what I had going on. Okay. But at the same time, you know, we would go do shows now. We go other places and I'm me with my charisma and my little bit of talent I had and all that. So, and I'm young. Okay. So I'm trying to slide everything. Okay. I'm the most trifling of trifling. I'm just keeping it true. Okay. And so, what ended up happening with this is I ended up working in a telemarketing place. And in working in the telemarketing place, the first thing you got to understand is that is not a good place for somebody like me to work if I'm in a relationship, because a telemarketing place is going to be 80% females, 10% gay dudes, and then 10% everything else or whatever that is. Okay. And that ain't going to last long. That only lasts 10%. That's just what it is. Okay. That's a interchangeable thing. That's a whole bunch of dudes that come there. They find them a girl there and then they don't work there no more because that girl that they work there with doesn't want them working there anymore. So they're out of there or all kinds of stuff. Okay. It's just situations. That ain't something that's going to work out for a young male. You know what I'm saying? As 18 years old that just turned 18. So as soon as I started working there, I got myself involved with this little chick working up there named Tina. Okay. And God rest her soul. R.I.P. to her. She actually got murdered in 2009, her and her baby's daddy, which is really unfortunate and really sad, man. It was a really tragic situation. And, you know, that is what it is. That's a part of life. Death is, unfortunately. And I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's tragic. But anyway, and I'm not laughing about that or trying to be insensitive, but I mean, this is not part of that story. Okay. God rest her soul, all that. So anyway, I started messing with Tina, man. And Tina's a Gemini. Okay. Tina rapped a little bit too. So she's enamored with me because of my rap thing and because I'm me, you know? And so we get heavily involved and she knows about Angela. At least she knows what I told her. I've told her that, you know, that's my girl or that's my baby mama. And, you know, it's a crazy situation and we always fighting and I'm not happy, but I really ain't got no other choice or whatever. I done made up some kind of little bit of the truth, tweaked a little bit to where I look like some kind of victim in the situation or something with some kind of manipulative trash ass bullshit. Okay. And that's just keeping it real. So I'm fooling with Tina and also understand that Angela, she worked a shift where she worked 3:00 in the afternoon to 11 o'clock at night. I worked 7 o'clock in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. So there's a whole bunch of time in there in between. So when I get off work, she usually just went to work and she gonna be at work for a long time. So I could be messing off for some hours when I get off work and then be at home playing PlayStation or laying up watching a movie by the time she gets off, like all is cool. Which we know that ain't shit, but that's what I was doing at the time. And so, hey, here we go. Here comes to a day where, you know, I'm feeling Tina so much. We didn't even mess around. I'm like, hey man, I'm finna leave this bitch. Take me to the house. She's at work. I'm finna get all my stuff because Tina had just got an apartment and me and you, we can afford this apartment together now. Okay. She had an apartment in the project, so it wasn't going to cost shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, hey, me and Tina can just do our thing. I said, I'll go get my stuff while she's at work. She'll never know I went. It's just over with, which is stupid because she takes me to work every morning. She would have just came up to my job. I mean, straight up. She would have just came up to my job and wreaked all kinds of havoc. Probably whooped everybody at that bitch. So, I mean, that's what that is. That couldn't have happened. But it didn't work out like that anyway. So I'm at the house, right? And we live in some little duplexes to where there's a parking lot behind our duplexes where you park at. Okay. But Angela didn't park up there. She didn't park back there. She parked in front of our house. Okay. So when we get there, we pull in the back little lot of our duplex. And so she's pulled back there and I'm back there. I done load up all my clothes in there. And then I'm in there with my last item, my PlayStation. And I'm in there wrapping up my PlayStation. And boom, in walked Angela. And she looked at me and said, where the fuck you going? What you doing? And I said, what you doing? I thought you was at work. And she was like, nah, I worked a different shift today. I just got off. And I said, oh, that's what's up. So I had to think quick. And I said, well, I'm going to Marcus's house, who's a guy that lived in the apartments behind our duplexes. Okay. I said, I'm going to go to Marcus's house to play PlayStation because he's on the ankle monitor and he can't really do nothing. And this is not something that's uncommon for me to do. And she said, okay. You know, I don't think she really cared about that at all. She didn't trip. And I said, all right. And so I told her bye. I walked out the front door. That was the stupidest thing I probably could have ever done in my life. Okay. One of them. It's not the stupidest because we'll hear stories later on where I've done a lot more stupid stuff, but this was a crucial mistake right here. Okay. The thing is, Tina's parked behind our house, right about 10 feet from my back door. If I would have just went out the back door, walked straight up to the car, got in the car and drove the fuck off, there would have never been an issue. But me trying to be too slick, walked out the motherfucking front door. And then walking out the front door, I walked to the side of the house and I'm standing on the side of the house and I motion for her to come here. Like I'm telling Tina to drive around. I'm like, drive around, come here, come over here, come over here. And so she started slowly pulling around there. Well, about the time she started doing that, I guess Angela either realized why the fuck did I go out the front door or she came out to tell me something. I really don't know. But she opened up that back door and stuck her head out to Roger. And she stopped in mid word, right in the middle of my name, because she saw me standing on the side of the house doing this. And then she saw old girl driving around to me. And it took her about 2 seconds to process what was going on. She seen what was going on. She seen me, seen old girl, and she just broke into a dead sprint. And hey, this a big girl. She ain't big, but hey, she a big girl, man. Coming fast and coming in hot. And she in the window. She in the window of the car on Tina's ass like stank on shit. Bitch. I mean, started banging her game up. Beat the dog shit out of her. I mean, just. And Angela, like I said, she's a bigger girl. She's a Leo. Tina's a little bitty, like 5 foot, maybe 4'11" Gemini chick, okay? And she mashing the gas on her. Yeah. Bitch, I told you, you coming over here fuck with my nigga. And I'm holding on to Angela, trying to pull her off, going, Angela, stop. Angela, stop. And she like, no, fuck that. This bitch disrespect. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, stop, bitch. And so I finally pull her off. Boom. We fall on the ground. When we fall on the ground, Tina takes off in the car, drives off. And instead of just taking off and leaving and being done with this bullshit, which she should have done. Oh no. She went Gemini on us. She pulled out there, did a little fishtail, stopped the car, rolled down the window and said, Rodrigo, are you coming with me or you staying with this bitch? So I looked at Angela, who's wrestling with me, and I pushed Angela off me. I said, get off me. And I got up, ran, jumped in the car with Tina. We drive off. As we drive off and I look back, I see Angela get in her car and she's coming. And she caught up to us, about 2 blocks away, and she pulling up beside us, screaming and laughing and shit. She done lost her mind. Oh, that's how y'all want to do? This the game y'all want to play, motherfuckers? Okay, we gonna see. She laughing. Oh, I got something for y'all, motherfuckers. She rolling up on my side now. Oh, Roderick, this the games you playing? This how you doing, motherfucker? And I'm like, oh, man, I think we might have fucked up. And so we on a high speed chase with her all through Abilene, Texas, all over, everywhere. And finally we go from South 7th and Leggett to where we're on North 20th and something in Glen Haven. And we lost her at a light. And then she comes out on us at the corner, cuts us off. We have nowhere we can go but backwards. So Tina starts reversing. We're on a residential street. She's reversing. When she's reversing, something in me, I don't know what made me realize that there was no winning in this situation. And I probably need to save this bitch's life, which, I wish I could have done later on, unfortunately, but I couldn't. But anyway, in this situation, I knew what I had to do. And so I said, stop the car. I said, stop. And so she stopped the car. And she said, what? What the fuck? What the fuck? And she's like, she's coming. And I said, stop. And she said, what do you mean? And I just looked her in the face and I said, I'm terribly sorry about all this. And I got my PlayStation. I got out and I started jogging towards the car where Angela was. And you want to talk about toxic? You know what happened? She opened up the car door and said, nigga, if you don't get your motherfucking ass in the car, you thought you was going somewhere? Nigga, get your motherfucking ass in the car. And she should have ditched my sorry ass right then. She should have never fucked with me in the first place, but she did. Okay. And so maybe she had a little something coming for me. Okay. So what ended up happening with that is, we went back. She made tacos. But it would get worse. Okay. Because we had started arguing a lot more and shit had gotten a lot more toxic with our arguments. And with my music, with my hustling, I was at a point where I didn't necessarily need her financially. So my trash ass was starting to act a little different. You know what I'm saying? I was studying up a little bit more when she go to tripping. You know what I mean? The arguments would take on a whole different tone. Bitch, okay, do what you got to do. So one day we get into an argument and I end up leaving for a little bit. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm leaving. Okay. I'm going to take a step back for a couple of days because obviously we tripping. So I go to stay at my other homeboy, Jonathan. Not the same Jonathan from the other story. This is a white dude. Okay. This is a dude I've known since 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? One of my other best friends that I call my brother. And so I go to stay with him. And about the second day I'm with him, I get a call from Fed. Fed is up in a tangent. He can't find his girl. And Fed's a Libra. Probably with Venus and Scorpio, I'm guessing. So he's tripping. Roddy, I can't find Niecy. Are you at home with Angela? I said, nah. I said, me and Angela taking a break for a couple of days. I'm at my other homeboy's house. He said, what the fuck? He said, I'm gonna come get you right now. I got my gun. I'm gonna get Niecy. We're gonna find Niecy. I caught her texting a nigga earlier. I saw her talking about meeting up with him at some hotel. And I said, what? And he said, I caught Niecy. I don't know. I caught her with a nigga texting with him and she gonna meet him at a hotel. And I'm like, nigga, calm down. And he like, no. He said, call Angela and see if Niecy's over there. So I'm like, you know what? Let me call Angela. So I call Angela. She answers. And we actually have a really pleasant conversation. I mean, we really do. And, we determined that, hey, in the morning, I'm going to come home. it's a little late that night. It's too late to be out. And plus, you know, she been drinking. I'm getting high and all that. Like, ain't no way she finna come get me from across town that night, you know, just because it wasn't going to go down like that. And I probably was trying to design it like that. But in the morning, I was coming home. And then she told me that, well, she had to work. She said, well, I have to work in the morning, so I'm going to leave a key under the mat for you, and then you can just get in, okay? And I'm like, bet. Okay, I'll see you in the morning, baby. I love you. Bye. I call Fed. I'm like, hey, man, Niecy ain't over there. Everything good with us. So I don't know what to tell you, player. He said, well, I'm finna pull up, nigga. He said, bring your gun. We finna find Niecy. She with a nigga at a hotel. I said, man, I'm not looking for your girl with you, cuz. And he said, nigga, I'm finna pull up. And I said, nigga, I'm not bringing no gun. I'll come, but I'm not. He said, I got my gun. And I said, oh, I'm coming in. Because at this point now, it's not because I want to do something. It's because I need to prevent him from acting crazy if something's going to happen. Even though I really don't think he going to do nothing, because I kind of feel like he's scary. But I'm still not sure, because he'll trip about his girl. Because he's what a lot of us hood cats will refer to as tender dick, which means he's jealous, possessive, and, you know, he be tripping out about his girl. If it's one thing he gonna trip about his girl. Like, if you're at his house, he won't even let her be in the same room as other men, okay? And he's not a Muslim, okay? You don't need to be in no niggas' faces and that type of shit. And, you know, to me, I think that shit is insecure and I think it's weak, but more power to you if that's your thing. Don't do that, okay? Because it's gonna put you in messed up situations like this. And so he pulls up, I jump in the car with him. We dip off, we looking for Niecy. And the crazy thing is, about the second or third place we pull up to, there's his car. There is his car. And where his car is, there's no other rooms that have any lights lit up except one that's about, 4 or 5 doors down from his car. Okay. His other car, not the one he's driving. And the other thing is, there's no other cars. So that has to be the room they're in pretty much. Okay. And I'm like, oh no, something really finna go down now. And I'm like, I immediately grabbed the gun. I'm like, I got the gun, cuz I'm gonna make sure everything good. I got you. Okay. That way, I tell him ain't no blood on your hands if some crazy shit go down, my nigga. Okay. And he think he the big homie and shit. He like, all right, cuz. Cause like I said, I really don't think he was gonna do nothing. So now I done said I'd do it. So, that'll give him a way out of it, which I'm not gonna do shit at all. It's not my business. So as soon as we get up, we pull up, he jump out hot, and man, he take off damn near running up to that door that has the light on. I get out slowly, nonchalant. I sit on the hood of the car. I put my hands in my pockets like, man, what's finna happen? I'm finna peep the scene. What's really going down? And seeing what's really going down, I was in for a surprise. He goes over to the room. Boom! He hits the door one time. He hits it with his shoulder twice. Then he hits it the third time and he's in that bitch. And as soon as he busts in the room, I'm like, oh, so I'm already on my way walking slowly over there so I can stop whatever's happening, because he's not going to go in that room talking. I don't care if he's a Libra or not. Okay. He's not going to go in that room talking. This is a Libra. This is his relationship. So he's not going to go in that room talking. Okay. I got the gun though. So as soon as he busts in the room, I start walking over there. I get about 3 steps when something stops me in my track. Cause I hear him say, what? What the fuck? He doesn't say Niecy. He says, Angela, what the fuck are you doing? He said, bitch, you don't love Roddy? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, huh? And so I'm walking around there, man. I'm walking and I'm going and I'm going. And I look around the corner right there to that room, man. And we didn't find Niecy. No, we didn't catch Niecy. No. We caught my girl. We didn't find his girl. We caught my girl with Loco. The one that I took her from in the first place. In there, butt, booty, naked. I mean, butt naked, man. And I was so shocked that I couldn't do shit but just like, I'm trying to process how this happened and what exactly is going down. So I keep dropping stuff, y'all. Pardon me. I kind of take a walk outside, and as I take about 3 or 4 steps, it all makes sense. See, what happened was Angela and Niecy, they pulled a switcheroo on us. They switched cars. The thing was, they probably never expected us to find that hotel room. The other part was, Angela would have never counted on me to go looking for her, because I wouldn't go looking for her, and I wasn't looking for her. Okay. I just wasn't. I was with Fed while he was looking for his girl. Okay. They switched cars because they knew Fed was going to be looking for his girl. So they would have been fine with Angela getting caught up with Loco by Fed if he was by himself. But they never banked on him going to get me. And so as all that's processing, Fed comes running up to me. He comes reaching all on me. Nigga, where's the gun? You ain't gonna kill that nigga? And I said, no, man, why the fuck I'm gonna kill that nigga for? And he said, nigga, he's with Angela. And I said, nigga, I don't give a damn about that shit. He was with Angela when I was with Angela. And he said, well, give me the gun because they know where makes their ass. And so, hey, man, I keep walking like, what the fuck just happened, man? I don't give him the gun. And as he comes running up, Angela comes running. She's like, Roger, I'm sorry. I was drunk and Loco showed up and I didn't expect this to happen. And, I just don't want us to, I love you. I don't love him. This was just something. And I just didn't even say nothing. I was like, man, get away from me. And so, needless to say, I didn't go home. And not right then. Things didn't get better. See, the universe had something else in the cards, because about a month goes by to where we really had started rocking again, and I was really maturing, and things seemed like they were turning, for the better for us. It looks like I was going to go home soon, because I just felt like we were really working through our problems. We were spending a lot of time together, and we were still communicating. There wasn't any fighting going on, and, she was complying, I was complying. It was all good for a minute. Okay. But here we go. One night, me and Fame, we on them Exos. Ecstasy, for those of y'all that don't know. We're rolling. We done popped some Exos. We done came up on a nice little batch of them. And so I'm feeling good. Ecstasy makes me even more in my feelings than I already am. So I'm like, hey man, let's go see Angela and let's go get some bud from Angela and we'll give her some Exos and then we'll roll for a little bit and then we'll dip out. Okay. And he like, bet. So we go over there. All's cool. We pop up. As soon as we get there, we get some weed. We give Angela XO. She popped the pill. She getting on the same level as us. We're all in there chilling. About an hour and a half goes by. It's a knock at the door. It's Tadao. Now, let me explain who Tadao is. Tadao is a guy from our music label. Okay. He's from Wichita Falls, Texas. Tadao, he goes by a moniker of Mr. 5'4". And that's because he's 5 foot 4 inches tall. And, he's definitely a Gemini, man. And, Tadao, man. Me and him had actually gotten really close here in that month that I had been gone, because he's been on our label for a long time, but we had started getting hot. Me and Fame, our group called Game House. And in getting hot, like Tadao had started getting on a lot of songs with us. And then I had started going with him to Wichita Falls to promote. And then me and him would go mess around with females in Wichita Falls and get high and do all kinds of shit and, try to live that rapper player lifestyle and shit that we was, trying to mimic at that point in time and do our thing when we could. Okay. So me and him had actually got close. So really, Tadao showing up, it should be no big deal. But the thing is, neither one of us realized, me or Fame at that point in time, that neither one of us called this nigga over here. Okay. And another thing, here's an occurrence that had happened just 2 weeks before that. Let me put it into perspective for you. Okay, we're going to take a look back for a second. I like to do this. See, about 2 weeks before this, Tadao had been asking me about some weed. Okay. And so we're at the studio. So I call Angela over to bring some weed to Tadao. Hey, bring my nigga some weed. She bring it to him. She hook him up. He like, oh, this is a hookup, this fat. I'm like, that's bet. I said, hey, get her number so y'all don't have to put me in the mix every time. Okay. You my nigga, you can get weed from my girl anytime you want. Bet. All right. I'll do that. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. So that happened. Well, that was 2 weeks before this. Well, a week before this, I get a call from Fed. Fed say this. He said, cuz. He said, what you doing? I said, I'm at the crib. I'm just chilling. Why? He said, hey, I'm going to tell you something. You need to listen, little bro. And I said, what? He said, you need to watch Tadao with your bitch. And I said, huh? And he said, you need to watch Tadao with your girl, cuz. And I said, what you mean? I said, well, she brought him some weed over here. And he said, they out there smoking and chilling for like an hour in the car, come in giggling and shit. You know what I'm saying? Looking each other all in the eye. And, you know, I was like, well, I ain't worried about Tadao, man. I ain't tripping about that. And the thing was, I really wasn't tripping about it because I'm cocky and conceited and young and foolish. Okay. The way I saw it, Tadao ain't no threat to me. I told him to get some weed. I thought maybe they were just, hey, they just smoke. And Angela's like that anyway. Like I said, she's a Leo, he's a Gemini. They was probably out there playing and laughing and doing their thing out there and shit. Okay. That's all cool. That's the way I see it. Okay. So I'm like, oh, I ain't sweating that. And plus, like I said, I just don't feel like he's a threat to me. I feel like I'm better looking than him. I'm tall. He's 5'4". You know, I'm pretty much 6 foot. You know what I mean? I'm handsomer than he is. I'm more talented than he is. His rap career kind of was at the very end, especially at his age, because he's like 15 years older than us. And ours hadn't even begun yet. And what's crazy is, here I am, almost 20 years after that, and this shit still ain't started. That's what ego would do to you. Okay? And so, ours hadn't even done yet, but we were living that lifestyle to the fullest, 24/7, besides the hustling that I was doing in the streets, you know, pushing crack rocks. And so, anyway, you kind of got the backstory with all that. Let's fast back forward to where we were in the story. The doorbell rings. Ding! It's Tadao. Like I said, I saw no big deal in it, but now I realize nobody called him over there. Then I didn't. It's Tadao with an 18-pack of beer. And here's another thing I should have realized right then that I didn't. Me and Jonathan didn't drink beer. Me and Fame do not drink beer. The only people that drink beer is Angela and Tadao. Angela and Tadao. And so we invite him in. He come in, he put his arms around me and Fame right off the rip. My niggas, you know. Oh, they played it off well, okay? He come in there, he pop his beer. We give him an XO. They go to rolling. Everybody rolling. We smoking weed. We popping bottles, drinking, you know what I'm saying? We rolling on the jiggalators, you know what I'm saying? Everything going good. About 2 or 3 hours go by. Me and Fame start getting restless, okay? And we want to go ride around and run the streets a little bit. We thinking that we might even want to go to the studio for a little bit and do our thing, okay? And that's what's up, okay? The thing is, I also wasn't worried because, hey, this is my gal. She'll be here when I get done, okay? So I tell her, hey, Angie, we finna go to the studio or something. We finna go ride around, and then we're gonna go, you know what I'm saying, go to the studio, try to, you know, make the most out of this roll, try to do some music while we rolling like this. And she like, oh, bet, baby. And she said, well, you know, I do gotta work tomorrow, so when this wears off, I'm probably gonna go to bed in the morning, okay? And I said, that's all right. You know what I'm saying? I'll go to my house, and then I'll just call you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'll give her a kiss. We leave. Wait. As we leave, also understand that it's understood that when a man's leaving his house, I don't even have to say nothing. Jonathan's leaving with me. Tadao was leaving. And so when we were getting in our car, he was already in his car, in his bug truck, because here's a little detail I forgot to leave out that's quite hilarious. See, Tadao is a rapper at night, but in the daytime, He's an exterminator. Real talk, man. And in being an exterminator, he drove a bug truck. Now, they don't have them no more, but back then, what I mean by bug truck is he had a little Chevy S10 pickup with a little floppy cockroach on the top that moved back like this. And he drove that bitch around everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his profession. He made money doing that. So why wouldn't he? Okay? No hating on that. And so when we're leaving, he's in his bug truck. He's good luck and he's leaving. His truck is started. It looks like he's about to pull out. So we gone. Well, the night goes on. We go rap for a little bit. We never make it to the studio. We ride around all in the hood because we high on exos. And it's been about 3 or 4 hours. We done been everywhere doing all kinds of shit. And we just riding, rapping. Okay. And I didn't got that urge. So I'm like, hey, take me to the spot. Okay. Go drop me back off at the house. I'm finna go slide with Angela, with my baby. And he like, bet. So we riding. We on our way back to the house. I'm feeling good. Like I said, I'm rolling. I'm on a different level now. As we hit my corner, I feel Jonathan tap me. Cuz. I'm rapping. I don't want to be bothered. Cuz. And I, what, nigga? And he said, look. And I look up. I look at my house. Guess what? That motherfucking bug truck was still sitting in my motherfucking driveway. And I didn't have no time to think, well, maybe his car wasn't working, or maybe he was too drunk and he passed out, or somebody came to pick him up. Nah. I ain't no fool. Everything that had been told to me, everything that I'd already seen, it all made sense. And I'm a Cancer with a Pisces moon, Scorpio rising, on ecstasy. So my emotions, they got the best of me immediately. I jump out the car, I pull my shirt off, walk up to the little door, the little window beside the front door, bam, bust that bitch, reach in, unlock the front door, I'm in the house. I get 5 steps in the house, Angela's right in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? What are you doing here? Why are you acting? Why are you busting my motherfucking window? The baby's in there. Do not come in here acting like that. Roderick, we are not together. And I'm like, man, bitch, move out the way. You know what I'm saying? I push her out the way. As I get into the bedroom, Tadao has jumped out the back bedroom window and took off running down the alley. Well, here's where I'm an idiot. See, if I'd have been in my right state of mind, I would realize that his truck is out front. All I gotta do is go back to the car that's parked out front and sit in that bitch and wait for him to come get his truck. Even if he runs home, he's eventually gonna have to come get this truck. Okay? And he won't call the laws because we're on the same record label, man. We're in the streets, man. This called the laws. It's over with for him. He ain't even got to worry about me touching him. He has another affiliation than me at that time, so his own people gonna do something to him. So that's not something that's a viable option. So I should have just went out there and waited. But what's my dumb ass do? I jump out the window and chase him. And in doing that, there's a couple of things I forgot. See, I'm biracial, y'all, as y'all can plainly tell. My mama is a 6-foot white woman. My daddy, he's a 5'1" little black dude, okay? I got the best of both worlds, but it's some things that I just didn't get blessed with. See, I got rhythm. I can dance. I got a big dick. I got good credit, but I can't run fast. I can't jump high. That's what it is. And I should have took that into consideration in the equation. So I jump out, I chase him. By the time I'm out the window, he's already rounding the corner. And by the time I'm around the corner, he's already getting into his vehicle. Jonathan is standing in my front yard on the eggshells, arguing with Angela about how she done me and how that wasn't a smart thing. Even if it wasn't our business, me or Jonathan, that wasn't a smart thing for her to do because she knows how I act. Okay. And he's in a tangent. He has a Pisces moon too. So he's almost crying, but he's mad too. So by the time I come running up, Tadal's already driving up. I'm like, Jonathan, let's go. Let's catch him. Let's do something to him. And he like, bet. So he jump in the car. We go on a high speed chase after Tadal. We chase him 4 or 5 blocks to the convenience store. He jump out, he run into the convenience store, he get into the convenience store, he shut the door to the store and he pulls it closer. It's 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, okay? He's holding the door to the store closed. The clerk is looking scared as hell. I jump out the car, shirt off, all 140 pounds of meat in. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I weigh about 200 now, I weigh 140 then. I jump out like, hey, you come outside, let's scrap. Come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to be disrespectful about whatever affiliation he has and I have. I'm telling him, you know, come on, cuz. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling him all kinds of disrespectful names and, you know what I'm saying? Eventually the store clerk raised up the phone and pointed at the phone, letting me know that, hey, he's on the phone with the police. Also let me know that I need to leave. Okay. And so I left, y'all. And in leaving, to be honest, I called Fed right then. I told him what had happened. He told me, Tadal's done. And he don't want no stuff going on in his studio. So I never saw Tadal again in my life. I wasn't going to go to his house because I'm just not that type of dude. Okay. Because the guy has a wife and a family. So I wasn't going to do that. But, you know, I just wasn't fucking with him ever again after that. And I knew that he didn't want no, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want no drama or no smoke with me. So it wasn't no point in pursuing that. And then plus, the player in me knew that it wasn't my fault. I mean, it wasn't his fault. It's my fault and it's Angela's fault. Okay? It all has to do with us and our situation and what we do. Okay? And so, hey man, what ultimately ended up happening is we tried to work it out some more. We never worked out. I don't know where Angela is in her life now. I do know that, you know, she went from being the plug to being one of the most well-known drug counselors there in our hometown area. So that's a beautiful thing. I don't know where she is in her personal life. I don't care. We're 2 separate people now. We're 2 different people. And that's a beautiful thing. And like I said earlier, the most beautiful thing in this whole situation is, man, that type of lifestyle like that, I can't even imagine living that now. That shit sounds like a motherfucking hood movie to me. That sounds like some Hollywood shit. It's crazy to think that I live that way because the lifestyle that I live now is so far from that. So far from that. That's horrific to me. And what's crazy, like I said, that's not even the worst situation I've been in. I've been in much worse, which we will talk about. So all of that taken into consideration is just another confirmation that just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. Okay. And what I mean by that is it don't matter what you've been through. It don't matter what type of makeup you have. You can change that. You don't have to keep being fucked up today. You don't have to keep being fucked up in 5 seconds from now. You can change now. Do it. Okay. It's not hard. It seems like it, but it's nothing to it but to do it. You feel me? Say, man, if y'all fool with me on any level, y'all need to be hitting that like button right now. Comment. Tell me how you feel, okay? Y'all get at me, man. I want some interaction. Y'all tell me about y'all's life story. Maybe I might share it one day when I get off of mine, man. Okay? Tell me y'all's experiences. Tell me, you know, the levels of toxicity that you've reached. Laugh with me, okay? Rejoice with me that this is the individual that you're dealing with now, and that one no longer exists. Okay? Hey, also don't forget that more than anything else, I'm an astrologer by nature, which means that, hey, if you're interested in astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Hey, this been fun. Y'all keep it chill till next time.